These days, everyone wants to blend into society, and many will go surprisingly far to make that happen. They hit the gym for a better body, spend money at salons to improve their looks, and some even do deadly surgeries to look younger. But some people never had that choice. We're not talking about scars or wrinkles, but rare conditions and weird features that can completely change a person's appearance. These are the 15 extraordinary people you won't believe are real, but before we start, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. With that said, now let's get started. Number 15. Majibur Rahman Malik. The name Snake Man sounds like the freak label of a circus act, but trust us, there is nothing entertaining about how Majibur Rahman Malik got it. Every single day his skin peels away in thick flakes, only for the cycle to begin again. Then again, the young man from India has erythroderma, leaving much of his body red, painfully dry, cracked, and extremely sensitive. By June 2022, Majibur was 25 and had spent nearly his entire life dealing with it. Cold weather makes matters worse, while dryness around his eyes means even blinking can become difficult without drops. Even his childhood brought another kind of pain. Majibur said other students were frightened of him, so he stopped attending school. Doctors recommended treatment at a larger hospital, but his family simply could not afford it. His parents and brothers became the people he relied upon most. The nickname grabbed headlines because it sounded bizarre. Majibur's reality is quieter, a young man wanting people to see him before they see his skin. Number 14. Ryan Hudson-Peralta. Ryan's basement in Michigan isn't packed with gym machines, and that suits him perfectly. A mini trampoline, resistance bands, weights, and a few chosen tools give the 46-year-old what he needs: movement. Ryan has a congenital limb deficiency, leaving him with shortened legs and underdeveloped arms without hands, and he stands 3 feet 6 inches tall. Because much of his day is spent sitting, keeping his body active matters far beyond building muscle. He works out to protect mobility, manage his weight, and remain as independent as possible as he gets older. That requires adapting nearly every exercise instead of copying routines designed for somebody else's body. Ryan has become very good at figuring those adjustments out. Away from training, he's a husband, father, and advocate who shares his methods so people with similar physical differences can see practical possibilities. There's no obsession with getting a perfect gym body here. Ryan's goal is much more useful: keeping the body he has working for him. Number 13. Dunya Sibomana. 6 years old, is far too young to understand why a chimpanzee would attack, let alone survive what Dunya endured in Congo. Sadly, 2 other kids were killed, while Dunya was left with brutal injuries to his face. His lips were gone, part of his cheek had been torn away, and eating or even speaking became painfully difficult. Then, surgeons at Stony Brook Children's Hospital in New York began rebuilding his face through several operations. Away from the hospital, something equally important was happening. Dunya stayed with Kim Chakes and his family, learned English, returned to school, played soccer, and even tried surfing. Slowly, the quiet child who had every reason to shut the world out began joking, laughing, and letting people close again. His new smile came from surgery, but no one could operate on the personality that followed. That belonged to Dunya all along. After everything was taken from him, somehow his joy survived too. Number 12. Tiana Moon for Moon. Having an unusually large chest stopped feeling like a blessing a long time ago. The 30-year-old from East Anglia has gigantomastia, which causes excessive growth of breast tissue, and the physical toll has become difficult to ignore. She noticed something particularly strange after taking Mounjaro in 2024. While weight disappeared elsewhere, her breasts continued to get bigger. By 2026, Tiana said they weighed around 39 pounds, roughly 1/5 of her entire body weight. Carrying that every day has left her with numb arms, painful shoulder grooves, damaged skin underneath her breasts, and difficulty breathing while lying flat. Well, reduction surgery seems like the obvious answer until another problem appeared. There is no guarantee the tissue would not grow again. Online critics still question her choices, while Tiana has taken a different approach. Rather than letting unwanted attention humiliate her, she monetizes some of it. Her body gave her little choice. What she does with the attention remains hers. Number 11. Belinda Downs. Belinda has spent years meeting strangers who notice her face before asking her name. She has an oro-ocular cleft, limited vision, and a muscle condition that can make ordinary tasks a battle. But none of that has made her interested in becoming somebody else's idea of perfect. And as Belinda grew up, she found something valuable early on. Difference was never treated as shameful inside her family. The outside world could be less forgiving. People stared, made assumptions, and sometimes crossed the line from curiosity into cruelty. Belinda learned not to hand them control over how she saw herself. Her appearance on You Can't Ask That gave her a chance to say publicly what she had understood for years. A facial difference does not turn somebody into a tragedy, an inspiration, or a lesson for everyone else. Behind the scars is a woman who studied languages, built her own life, and would rather be recognized than pitied. Number 10. Guru Kailash Singwell. Most of us feel uncomfortable after missing one shower. But this man went more than 37 years without taking one and had no intention of ending the streak. Kailash became known for refusing both bathing and conventional washing, arguing that soap and water clearly hadn't made the rest of humanity happy. His alternative was a super stranger. Each evening, Kailash performed what he called a fire bath, standing or sitting near a bonfire while smoke and heat surrounded his body. He believed the ritual dealt with sweat and odor well enough, although anyone standing nearby may have had their own opinion. His refusal to wash was perhaps tied to personal beliefs rather than a lack of access to water, and family members spent years trying unsuccessfully to change his mind. Kailash remained stubborn. While billions of people begin or end their day under a shower, he chose flames and smoke instead. Whatever else can be said about his unbelievable routine, saving money on soap was certainly never going to be an issue. Number 9. Scarlett Checkers. Long before Scarlett knew anything about Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, her family already knew she could bend in ways that looked ridiculous. Dinner often ended with Scarlett folding her limbs into positions nobody else could manage, usually followed by her stepmother reminding her to keep her feet off the table. What seemed like extreme flexibility finally made sense in adulthood when she was diagnosed with hypermobile EDS, a genetic disorder that can leave joints unstable and cause pain, exhaustion, and frequent dislocations. Scarlett could have treated that flexibility as something to protect from the world. Instead, she turned it into her profession. She performs as a clown, contortionist, and sideshow artist, touring with a wonderfully odd troupe called the Birthday Party 3 Clowns and an Alien. Not everyone with EDS approves, especially those worried about the physical risks. Scarlett knows the criticism, but she also knows her own limits. While her body still allows it, she intends to keep performing, laughing, and making something memorable from it. Number 8. Julius can handle people staring at his tattoos, split tongue, head implants, and black eyes. What gets under his skin is hearing that he blinded himself for attention. The 27-year-old German has neurofibromatosis type 1, and tumors affecting his optic nerves gradually took away his sight. His left eye had been severely impaired since childhood. Eventually, the right deteriorated as well, with doctors confirming the devastating loss in 2022. The black eyeball tattoos came afterward, not before. Yet his appearance makes that timeline easy for strangers to ignore. By 2026, Julius could distinguish little beyond light and shadow and used a white cane to navigate daily life. Even then, people online accused him of faking his blindness. His modifications carry a more personal meaning than shock value. Illness had already decided what his eyes could no longer do. Without asking permission, Choosing how they looked gave Julius one decision back. When control becomes scarce, even one choice can mean everything. Number 7. Morgan Hoffman posted an ordinary family video and somehow found herself having to convince strangers that her own daughter was actually hers. Morgan is black, her husband Matt is white, and their daughter Brooklyn has a lighter complexion than people online apparently expected. That was enough for complete strangers to start inventing explanations. Comments accused Morgan of lying about being Brooklyn's biological mother. Others seriously suggested that the hospital might have switched babies. What should have been a happy glimpse into motherhood became an ugly lesson in how confidently people judge families they know nothing about. Morgan and Matt admitted those remarks hurt, although something better came from the attention as well. Other interracial families began sharing similar experiences and thanking them for speaking publicly about it. Rather than spending their days arguing with every account behind a screen, the parents kept their attention where it belonged: Brooklyn. She has 2 parents who know precisely whose child she is, and internet detectives are not changing that. Number 6. Bella Hill. Bella can change her entire look simply by moving her hair part a few inches. One half of her hair is naturally blonde, while the other is dark brown, with the contrast running so neatly down her head that people often assume somebody dyed it that way. They thought the same when she was little. Her mother remembers strangers stopping them in grocery stores, fascinated by the perfectly divided colors. Even Bella's eyelashes carry the difference. Her mother believes poliosis, a pigment condition that can leave patches of hair without their usual color, may explain it. Bella is far more interested in enjoying what she has. Pastel outfit? She can bring the blonde forward. Sweats or something darker? The brunette gets its turn. After years of questions, she has grown comfortable with curious eyes and doesn't treat her look as something requiring an explanation. Number 5. Aiden. The super dad, you won't believe it. But fatherhood arrived for Aiden in a way that still leaves plenty confused. At 19, about a year after beginning his transition, he realized he wanted children and decided to carry them himself. Hormone treatment was paused, Yui followed, and before long he was expecting twins. For a while, Aiden raised the girls alone. Then Claire entered his life and became their mother, giving the household another chapter neither had planned. When they later wanted one more baby, Aiden chose pregnancy again and welcomed Cove. Their home may attract questions from outsiders, but inside it, the explanation is refreshingly uncomplicated. The children know their dad carried them, and their parents have never treated that history as something embarrassing or secret. But online, Aiden has faced people claiming everything from confusion to outright disbelief, including accusations that his pregnancies were fake. He refuses to build his life around convincing them. The family in front of him matters considerably more. Number 4. Pablo was born without fully developed arms or legs, and doctors gave his family little reason to believe life would ever be easy. Somehow, Pablo made an amazing life anyway. In Paraguay, a wheelbarrow became far more than something used around the house. It carried him from place to place, served as his resting spot, and gave him a small piece of independence. Later, when his partner left, Pablo remained with their 2 daughters and helped raise them alongside his elderly mother. He had never attended school, yet his daughters grew up describing him as clever, cheerful, and always ready with advice. Years passed, his mother grew older, and eventually one daughter returned from abroad to care for the father who had spent so much of his own life caring for them. That part says plenty. Pablo never had the independence most of us take for granted, but he built something harder to measure, a family that stayed. Number 3. Erika and Eva Sandoval for the Sandoval family. Bringing Erika and Eva home was never guaranteed. The twins arrived joined from the lower chest down, sharing several organs and a third leg between them. Doctors gave them roughly a 30% chance of surviving. leaving their mother facing the kind of uncertainty no parent wants to hear. Still, the girls kept growing. They learned how to move together, play together, and manage everyday life while physically connected. Years later came an even harder decision. Surgeons believed they could be separated. The operation carried enormous risks and required a large medical team, but in December 2016, after an 18-hour surgery, Erica and Eva finally woke up in separate beds. Recovery brought its own difficulties, including further procedures and learning new ways to move. But their childhood gradually became less about operating rooms and more about school, family, jokes, and sisterly arguments. Number 2. Hassan and Hussein. Salih, Hassan and Hussein know better than most that sharing a beginning does not mean sharing an identity. The brothers spent their first 7 months joined from the chest to the hip before surgeons in Britain separated them in 1987. The operation gave each brother his own body, yet growing apart emotionally was never part of the deal. As adults, they remained incredibly close, even sharing a bedroom and describing an uncanny awareness of each other's discomfort. If one was struggling, the other often seemed affected too. Their conversations about marriage carried a surprisingly tender worry. What would happen if adult relationships finally pulled them into separate homes? It sounds funny until we remember these two once shared far more than a room. Their earliest months were physically connected, surviving the same medical journey before either could understand it. Surgery separated Hassan from Hussein decades ago. Becoming two different men was possible. Becoming strangers to each other never really was. Number 1. The strange relationship. People love saying that love is blind, right up until a couple looks different from what they expected. Meneses and Brody have learned that firsthand. They first knew each other in kindergarten, then became much closer during high school. Brody has no legs because of a congenital limb difference, something Meneses never treated as a reason their relationship couldn't work. Complete strangers have been less reasonable. Once the couple began sharing pieces of their life online, accusations followed. Meneses was called an attention seeker. Others questioned attraction, loyalty, and whether their partnership could possibly last. Meanwhile, the two people everyone was debating were busy enjoying themselves. Their videos showed dancing, teasing, laughing, and the kind of comfortable chemistry that's difficult to fake for long. Public staring still happens, and nasty comments haven't magically disappeared. Meneses and Brody aren't running a campaign to convince every skeptic, though. They fell for each other years ago. If you've enjoyed watching this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe. We'll see you soon.